You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome to the Thursday pod. Coming to you on a Thursday, funnily enough. Before we get into it, just want to remind everyone that the live stream tonight, Hello Sport, YouTube, from maybe 10 to 8, myself, Edward, Justin the Scope Horror, and Willie Mason for the Scope Cup. Manly v the Eels. Manly to hump the fuck out of the Eels. See you there tonight. Hello Sport YouTube. Now, we've got to get into this one quick because our friend DYOR Dave has got to go, but you have an update on your misso's psychotic fucking living conditions?
That's right. Well, punters and dribblers will remember that she did move out with me a while ago, but there's been some revelations since then. Basically, it all started. She posted a TikTok of the house as she was moving out, one of these TikTok trend things like, oh, look how fucked up my house is.
Have you got the TikTok? Will we be able to see that?
I can probably find the TikTok.
Get to the keep telling the story, but I would like to see the TikTok at some point.
Yeah. Basically an SBS reporter got a hold of her and said, this is kind of fucked. Can I write an article about this? And the article has come out this week.
Hectic.
Can you see it there?
So the title of the article here on SBS News, living in a basement with no windows, I've been there, life in a 12-person share house during Australia's rental crisis. When set to the backdrop of Australia's rental crisis, it actually makes the story so much scatter.
It certainly does. I would like to get some clarification. Have there been 12 people living in this house for ages? Was it always set up for as a 12-person?
No, so you'll see here. So,
or is this rental crisis personified?
Well, you'll see here.
Writ large, Tom.
It does say somewhere the house was originally 5 rooms or something, and then he put in some more. Yeah, it originally only had 5 bedrooms, but 4 extra bedrooms were later added, including a tiny attic. And so you can see there's some photos of the small wall that has kind of separated the bedroom. The photo on the right there is a hole in the wall that was in Cassie's bedroom. There was another hole that a shoebox was stuffed into just to cover up the hole.
Oh, fuck, man.
What are the holes for?
Well, is he like a bit of a camera guy? Is he like filming everyone taking shits and
Is this peeping vibes?
There was the camera in the kitchen, which he used to make sure people did the dishes, and he knew whose dishes they were if they weren't done. So that really aroused suspicion as to whether there were other cameras.
Did you know
in the
that
house.
was a thing when you went over there? This guy filmed? Dave, you left out a really crucial... This cunt was making people pay rent to live in his house, and then he was watching them.
Pretty much.
That's fucking etch. Is that illegal?
Surely.
I think so. I think a lot of what he was doing was illegal because, how many people you can have in that house, it probably wasn't regulated to fit 12.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
He's putting up the walls himself.
Yeah, exactly. There's some... where's the photo of his... That's not his place, but this was his room that he lived in.
Oh.
He lived in there?
I'm pretty sure this is the landlord's room.
There's a motorbike in there.
Yeah, there were about
If you can't see that, there is a
5
motorbike in there.
Golf bags, bikes,
Pretty sure he was a hoarder.
baskets,
Well, yeah, it looks
trolleys,
like there'd be a couple of dead rats or cats
old
in there.
fans, just shit everywhere. Blankets, mattresses.
That's like my germaphobe nightmare to be in a horse.
He lived in there.
So this was like the...
Where did he live?
This was like the garage, I think, / shed, which was at the back of the house, not connected to the full house. And I'm pretty sure his bed is behind there where you can see the little pedestal fan and the laundry hamper.
Yeah. How old is he again? 40s, 50s?
Maybe mid to late 30s.
Oh, fuck. So he's young.
Yeah.
That's gross, dude. Did you meet him?
Yeah, I did
Was he
meet
weird?
him once. Yeah, he was. Yeah, gave off weird vibes. There was one. I feel like I might have told the story before, but
Not
there
shocking.
was a Brazilian roommate who he had a bit of a thing for, and he bought her one day a 10-kilogram block of Cadbury chocolate.
Yes, you did tell us that.
I think I missed that.
I remember that. That's
I thought you were going to say like he bought her like a camera for her room or something.
Nah, not quite that.
Is he? What's happened here with him? Is there like any update on the
Yeah,
situation?
so there has been. So Cassie put in a complaint with like the
Who's
rental.
named Rachel in the article, by the way.
named
not to-
Rachel in the
not to
article. Yeah. But she did specify that she really didn't want to be called Rachel.
Really?
Not good. Not to the writer, but to me in the podcast.
Oh, yes, okay,
And
right.
yeah, she made a complaint to like the rental union or whatever it is, and because he wasn't actually the owner of the house, he was, I think, renting the entire house from someone else and then subletting to people.
I respect the game.
Is that illegal? Surely.
I don't think it's completely I think the way he was doing it was illegal. I think that in itself is maybe not illegal, like to rent out a house and then sublet rooms.
If you are listening to the podcast, there is video, like pictures and shit on the YouTube.
Yeah, but yeah, last I heard, they were kicking him out. I don't know what's happened since then, if he's actually been kicked out.
Did
or
someone
if any of the
do
roommates.
the right thing? and do a podcast on this
850,000
guy?
Australians living in like shared accommodation, up from 350 in 2016.
Dude, the rental market is absolutely fucked. And I don't know from any perspective how that gets better. Like, what needs to happen for that to get better? Is it is it the financial crisis, like a collapse?
Well, I think rent prices are going up because mortgages are going up. So they're just passing it on.
But I think there's also too many people that own houses that aren't living in them.
Yes. There's a lot of people have
Just
investments.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're just, isn't that
Looking
wild?
at you, boomers,
Isn't that wild,
with your
though?
negative gearing and your fucking...
Just that, yeah, I'm going to buy this house and just let it sit there. It's fucking mental.
Yeah.
What?
This was her room, which was in the dungeon downstairs.
Did you
This
sleep in
after-
Was that in the dungeon?
Did
Yeah.
you sleep in that room?
Yeah, this was after she had cleared all her stuff out. But yeah, there were no windows.
I didn't realise there were no windows
Yeah,
down there,
she was
dude.
in the basement.
Oh,
I've had that. I get that. I get basement living. You're like, you
yeah,
didn't
you
get
got shingles,
Yeah.
bro.
And
Let's not forget that little piece of
Well,
information.
that's the thing. I lived off bacon. David, do you eat bacon?
I do eat bacon.
There
yes.
you go. Okay.
Well,
That's-
lucky you got out when you did, mate. Not that you were in there.
Yeah,
But you
so
know what
she-
I mean.
It says she wasn't able to turn on the overhead lights in her bedroom because they were connected to all the lights downstairs. There was kind of only one light switch.
This
for all the
guy,
lights
I like this.
downstairs.
I like this weird freak. Like,
Well, he's a businessman.
but that's what I mean. Dude. I wonder how
gotta
much he was
respect-
bringing in. Do you know how much like the rent was a week?
It does say somewhere here. She was paying $250 a week.
Get
and that was one of the cheaper rooms, I think.
Well, yeah, your
So
basement,
times
no
that
windows.
by 12, at least.
I think we need to celebrate his business acumen.
Yeah, this
My
guy's
old man, this should get my old man going.
Yeah,
this
this
sort of fucking
well,
setup.
Chilton would step out the house with an
Well, he'd
erection.
step out the house and he'd go, listen, we're missing 4 bedrooms here. Now, has he ever done anything like this in his life? No, but he would respect the acumen.
You got to respect the gameplay of this weird hoarder to go, I'm going to rent a house I can't afford, and then basically just find people who don't understand. And I mean, I know Cassie's from Adelaide, but it kind of still makes sense. Don't understand like what goes on in the country of Australia. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Brazilians, people don't speak English very well. It's like, oh yeah, this is basically what living in Australia is like. You just live in a house full of 50 people who all speak a different language. Now, Cassie, Adelaide, but basically another
Well, they
country.
speak a different language, don't
Yeah.
they?
You know, like that's sort of a similar
Similar.
situation.
Yeah, pretty
Definitely
much.
similar. I'm impressed that he looks at a 5 better and goes, no, this is a 9. This is a 9 better.
Yeah. He sees 9 where other people saw 5. It's kind of a bit Jesus-y. If I can take a religious angle
Well, water
here.
into wine, 5 into 9.
No,
Water into wine, 5 into 9.
But I'm also thinking like, here, you give me 3 fish, I will now create enough fish to feed everyone.
The people.
So I have a house with 5 rooms. I'm now going to create extra rooms.
Are
where they
you
weren't
telling
rooms.
me this may be the second coming
The rental Jesus?
via this peeping Tom?
Yeah, this well, peeping Jesus.
Peeping Jesus.
Peeping Jesus. I'm not prepared to sit here and rule it out. Now this is funny. This is very funny, and it was a weird story as soon as we heard it. We essentially broke the story. Let's be fucking real.
Well, you and I.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I
I don't think Cassie knew it was weird until we were like, that's sort of
That's
weird.
what I mean. That's Adelaide, dude. That's like, you don't understand how weird that situation was until it's like too many people in that house. Plus the guy's a hoarder with like multiple motorbikes in his bedroom. How is rental life for you, Dave, now? Because we haven't really checked in on that. I know you got to go, but fuck you. How is rental life for you now?
It's pretty good. We're enjoying ourselves. There's still some missing pieces left to our house. We don't have a washing machine yet. And
How do you wash your clothes?
I take it home to my parents once or twice a week.
There you go.
It's honestly, this is how they call it. It's the best laundromat in town because it has a pool, it has a TV, it has, lots of rooms for me to hang out in.
Do you go back there and do the washing yourself, or do you dump
Yes.
it and Mama Bloom gets to work?
I do it myself most of the time. Sometimes I have to dump it and run, and so it'll stay there for a couple days, and they'll, out of the goodness of their soul, put it in the dryer for me. But usually I just dump it in there, we take it home, hang it on the hills hoist. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. I love it, dude.
Who was Bob?
He was your uncle, mate. So it's just missing a washing machine, but like the week to week, bills.
It seems like you're getting the hang of things though. You remarked the other day it took you 20 minutes to make what looked to be quite a bland sandwich.
It was the blandest, most run-of-the-mill sandwich
for the punter and the dribbler playing along at home. It was two bits of white bread, chicken, and one piece of iceberg lettuce.
Yeah, and maybe some sort of like a chutney.
There was mayo, salt, and pepper on it.
20 minutes.
There you go,
And sun-dried tomatoes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, right,
Sun-dried tomatoes come in fucking packaging from the deli.
Yeah, you didn't sun-dry those tomatoes
No,
yourself.
you didn't.
I got it in a jar from the supermarket. I'm not rich
Dave
enough to go to
said
deli.
20
that
minutes.
he took 20 minutes to make a sandwich. The reason he was telling us about the sandwich was because he left it at home. He'd forgotten it on his way in here. But he was remarking at how the sandwich took him 20 minutes, and then after that, he forgot it. And he was like, fucking hell, I forgot my sandwich.
And he wasn't prepared to go without a sandwich that he spent 20 minutes making.
No, and Tobler quite rightly noted that's a long time to make a sandwich, to which we all realised it's an absurd, not just long, absurd amount of time.
I had to cut the chicken was cold and in the fridge and hard. I had to cut it off. Those like small drumsticks and wings. There were lots of little ones, so I had to cut it all off and cut it into pieces.
Dave, come on.
It was early in the morning. I was slow.
I'm not. I can't.
Yeah, listen. You're looking to us to validate your slowness, and we can't.
We can't.
Look, it was a good sandwich. Perfection takes time.
It
didn't look good.
It didn't look
It
great at
tasted
all.
good. Looks can be deceiving.
Well, it can.
Listen, let's just acknowledge that 20 minutes is fucking ridiculous,
Yeah.
and let's just move on.
Yeah, I think we acknowledge that.
Okay.
Now, it's too
Now,
long. It's simply too long.
off your run, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you for
All
showing
right.
us.
Thanks,
that.
boys.
Thank you, Dave. Much appreciated. Now Dave's going to run off, probably to make a sandwich. But we are back.
We are back. Thursday. Game day.
Game day. Game day. Now, technically it's a Wednesday, if we're being really specific. I was saying this the other day. Now we're talking days of the week. The days of the week named after gods. I didn't know that.
Right.
I found that interesting and cool. And like a thing that's...
Sun god.
But like in the
The
sense
mun
of
god,
things that are like in front of your face, throwbacks to like a time, and you don't realize it. You know what I mean?
Well-
Like it's right there, and you go, "Oh, I didn't even I just gloss over this. This is just a thing that I say."
Can we go through the gods, please, Tobler? It's also like when July, named after Julius Caesar, I believe. He was like, I want my own fucking month, bro.
There you go.
Throw that shit in there.
There you go.
That could be wrong, but it's in my mind.
No, I mean that wouldn't shock me. June named after June Dally Watkins. I'm
The
making
Nordic
that up.
countries, the sun, Sunday, the moon, Monday, also became the first 2 days of the week, and the Roman gods became four of the Nordic gods with similarities. Mars became Tyr, Tuesday. Mercury became Odin, Wednesday. Jupiter became Thor, Thursday, and Venus became Frigg, Friday. What about Saturday and Sunday? And why are we leaning on the Nordics so much? The Nordic nations are tiny. They seem to have a lot of influence.
At the time, maybe they were, further forward than other people. I don't know. I'm not going to get too into that.
So Saturday and Sunday. Well, no. What are we missing? Saturday. What was Saturday? Saturday.
Tuesday was for the Germanic god of war too. Saturn, Roman god of Saturn.
Because is there not any sort of... There's no real limit to how many fucking days you could have, right? It'd just affect how many weeks there are in a year.
Yeah, you could mix it up. I'm happy with 7. I don't think I need any more days. I'm tell you what, Evie's just getting her head around the days. I think it'd really throw a spanner in the works if we started adding more.
Could I ask you this? Would you be of the opinion, Thomas, what would you prefer? 5 days working, 2 days resting? Or 5 days working, 3 days resting? Get an 8-day week in there.
What about 4 days working, 3 days resting?
But that's still using 7 days.
Oh, so what didn't you say 5 days working, 2 days resting? That's
Yeah.
also 7 days.
Yeah, which is what we've got now.
Yeah.
Or 5 days working, 3 days resting, 8-day weeks.
I mean, yeah, because it'd just sort of throw you out a little bit, but I don't give a fuck. I'd be happy with that. At the end of the day, I work every day anyway, so... except for the days when I'm sick.
Except for the days when you don't
or
work.
When I don't work at all. But most days. Outside of those days where I don't work at all or like basically do nothing, I work every day.
On time, right? And the invention of it.
Yes. Well, not you. I don't. Do you invent time or do you acknowledge? Do you realize?
Well,
time?
you readjust time, right? So if you're going from a 7-day week to an 8-day week, you're readjusting it. Obviously, I think we went from 10 months a year to 12 months a year. Readjustments everywhere. I imagine then the months got smaller. I don't know how many days were in a month before that, Tom. You'd have to do the math. It would have been 52 days.
Are we too set in our ways now?
Or something.
There's too much shit built around weeks. I just think...
No, that's all right. 35 days.
Fuck adding any more days to the week. Just make it 4-day work weeks. Didn't some country, again, probably a Nordic country, didn't they just finish a 6-month or something... Trial of a 4-day work week? And they're like, we're keeping it. We love it.
Yep. But basically the way that works, I think, punters and dribblers, is you take a 40-hour week and you work that in 4 days instead of 5. So you work your fucking ass to the bone, you grind, take that shit to Pound Town Monday to Thursday, and then Friday you feed up it.
Yeah.
And just chill.
We technically, and I don't want to, we technically feed up on a Friday.
Yeah, we do. But you and I grind to the bone.
We grind. Well, we've been grinding to the bone for years.
Monday to Thursday, we fucking grind, baby, grind.
Yeah.
And Friday, when it comes round, that's a me day, bruh.
Yeah. We're like...
It's a Tom day.
We're like...
And obviously, if we've got things to do, we'll do them.
Hey, we'll do them.
But if we don't have anything to do, we won't do anything.
No.
Except maybe... we'll work out on Friday, get after the fucking day.
We'll
own the morning. We'll own the morning.
We'll own the morning.
We'll own the morning.
You have to own the morning. You've got to earn it.
Bend that morning over, baby.
Yeah, bend the morning over and own it.
Own that morning. And then the world's your oyster. I wanted to show you this. That's what I was trying to lead into, Tom. In the age of...
Aquarius.
Well, it's the year of the bird. I don't know if it's the age of the Aquarius. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway.
The podcast this week, as always, Punters and Dribblers, brought to you by our good friends at Ned's. Another great weekend of punting and dribbling for you and I, Eddie.
Not for you.
Well, I did pick Tim Zoo round 9 to 12.
That's true.
So it turned that turned
You're
my
rugby
weekend
league
around.
betting, though.
Hey, listen, it's early days. Everyone's like, if you're picking them early, you're not picking them late.
That's true.
I've always said it. You've always said it.
We've always said it.
And I'm not picking them early, which is fucking that should scream alarm bells for everyone else on about even.
Especially Sebo, because he's picking them early.
Yeah, he won't be.
So he won't be picking them late.
No, he won't be picking them late. But when we do pick them, we pick them with Neds. That's for damn sure.
That's the only place I do my picking.
Correct.
With Neds.
With Neds.
If I'm out there looking to pick winners, try scorers, total points, lines, even ponies, poochers.
There are a couple of things it's like only a few certainties in life, like deaths, taxes, and mine is death, taxes, and Dom Young and Katoni Staggs scoring when I'm not tipping him. Those are the certainties in life.
They're your certainties.
Yes. And Will Penasini not going over.
Well, I got stood up by Will Penasini. I wanted to date him officially. I took him out for a nice, beautiful steak, but he didn't show up. It was traumatic.
Left you waiting. Did you eat dinner
I ate
by yourself?
I ate both meals.
You ordered for him?
Yep.
Well, that's a little bit toxic.
Well, because he hadn't arrived, and I'm like, well,
you don't order someone's food for him. That's toxic, dude.
Sure.
That's probably why he probably showed up and saw a meal there and went, I'm not dating this guy.
Yeah, I'm like Cal in Titanic when he orders
the
lamb with very little mint sauce
Yeah.
for him and Rose to Whitby Cator.
Yeah.
Which
my
she
old
didn't
man,
like.
my old man does this all the time. We go and he's like, you just want that, don't you? And I go, how about you stop ordering for me, Pops? So, I'm just
So
saying.
be the master of your own domain with Neds. That's what
it.
we're saying in a roundabout way. Makes sense?
Does.
Go to the Neds app, download the Neds app, go to the Neds website. The world's your oyster.
Obviously, gamble responsibly, punters and dribblers. The number to call if you're having any issues, 1-800-858-858.
In the age of fucking guys that just think that they can motivate you.
In the age of fucking guys, yes.
Of guys that can motivate. They just say shit and they think it's motivating you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love people like that. They're parroting other people's shit or they just say like things.
Exactly. Like, man, this is how you fucking own your life and take back control of this shit. Listen to this fucking dribbler.
I know who it is. I already know this.
You do not believe in a 24-hour day.
Heck no. It's the dumbest thing in the world. So we still measure time like we did 100 years ago. If I wrote you a letter 100 years ago, I'd have to write this thing out on some ink Strap it on the back of a horse's butt.
Right.
30 days later, you might get it. Write one back. Maybe I get one a month later. Now I can text you in 2 seconds.
Yes.
Both of those are 24-hour days. That's insane. My days are 6 hours. And some days I just screw off. Some days are Netflix and chill. You do nothing.
Okay, so 6 hours.
6 hours from 6 a.m. to noon. That's a day. And in that day, you get the most love, fun, business, money, whatever you want.
People clapping.
Third day, second day, noon to 6 p.m. Same thing, that's another day, and 6 p.m. to midnight. I'm sleeping in some of those days too. I get 21 days a week.
Okay.
You stack that up over a year, I'm gonna kick your butt in business in life. You stack that up over a decade, I get a bigger, longer life than you.
Wow.
Because I get time and technology. It's not the same as it was in 1903. It's different now. You should measure your time different.
That doesn't make
No.
any fucking sense.
I saw a comment under because I saw that guy telling that same fucking thing, but on like just at a different platform. And then some guy leaves a comment going, well, how about this? I break up my days into 24 days. So the first hour of the day is from 6 till 7. My second hour of the day, 7 till 8. He's like, you stack all those days up, I'm going to have way more time than you. I'm going to kick your ass in business.
Yeah. You stack that over a lifetime, I'm going to kick your ass in business.
It is absolute horseshit in the extreme.
So one of your days, right, that you're using to kick my ass, let's call it the 12 a.m. till 6 a.m.
Yeah.
day, you're asleep, bruh.
You know,
So am I. What the fuck are you talking about,
and
you
then
fucking
that
dribbler?
first day that you want to talk about in the morning, which is 6 till midday, I'm also awake.
I don't want to have a crack at people that need to see these like motivators and shit like that.
No.
But I think that there's a world in where we could
Comfortably
do
that.
that. Like if you're sitting down
But
going,
snake oil shit.
it is. If you sit down and you go, listen here, I get fucking 4 more days. I get 4 times more days than you do just by telling people that a day goes from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. And people are clapping and cheering and shit like.
Yanks, dude. Yanks. But like also, you know what would be better than that? Like just work weekends. Because that's when people are actually taking time off. Or work later in the day. You know what I mean? Work longer hours. That's how you get ahead of someone else.
Well, it's like Kobe Bryant when he was like, if you train 6 hours a day and I train fucking 12 hours a day, like you're fucked.
Yeah.
That's the difference, bro.
You're just breaking up the exact same amount of time.
But you literally just said that I can spend days goofing off or on Netflix.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're not working any harder.
Also-
You're just telling people when they ask how many days a week you work, you go 28.
Yeah. But you're also just like, yeah, I sleep full days sometimes. Like, well, they're not days though, are they? You slept for a couple of hours. Like,
Do you know what a day is?
Yeah.
Do you know what a day
It's
is?
24 hours.
Do you actually know what a day is, bro? It's how long it takes for the earth to spin once. Completely.
Yeah.
That's a day.
That's what a day is. So what you're talking about is hours. And you're just talking about hours that you work.
No, you're just inventing something and calling something a day.
You're snake oil. That is the purest form of snake oil that you could ever get.
But I love how he sits there with this like smug arrogance almost, being like, if you stack that up, I'm going to kick your ass in business. It's like, how? You literally admit before you even say that some days you don't do anything.
Look, it doesn't make sense. And also it's just like the language, the buzzword language, like stack. If you stack that up onto, it's like, okay. Like there's that Atomic Habits book, which I'm sure is good. I did try to listen to it. But like habit stacking and shit. And it was just, I started trying to listen to it on audiobooks. And I guess it's about just like cultivating good habits to help you like get ahead. And it just was like, if you want to change a behavior, you've got to create a habit stack. So if you want to stop eating junk food, then you've got to have this habit to change that. And then you stack that on top of this habit to do that. And I'm just listening to it going like, I can't listen to this shit.
Yeah, you didn't like the vernacular used.
I
think there are.
I find it hard. I just find it
Atomic Habits.
I find it hard to read books like that or to listen to content like that. I'm not shitting on the content itself. Even that subtle art of not giving a fuck. Someone got me that once for Christmas, and I'm trying to read, and it was like, you don't want to give a fuck about giving a fuck, then I don't give a fuck about this. And you're like, oh, God, this guy he came up with a title. He came up with a title for a book, and then everything else came after it. And you're just like, I don't need it. To quote Jack Archstar, you can miss me with that shit.
Can miss me with that, bruh.
Miss me with that, bruh.
So it's basically the subtle art of not giving a fuck, just not caring about anything. Is that?
Oh, dude, I honestly couldn't get through it. I was like, fuck this book. The subtle art of not giving a fuck. It's just, and you know, it was like, it was a book that people felt cool to walk around with holding. You know, it's like, I get it. Apparently that thing sold its ass off, though. Could you see how many books that?
I think
copies that sold. Like sold its ass off.
there is a lot of importance, I think, that we as a society place on judging a book by its cover. Now, we're told not to.
But that's the fucking...
We're told not to, but that's the truth of it.
That's also actually a fucking great rom-com that I think Zac Efron's in, where it's like... It's, you know, again, the beauty of the rom-com is like the...
What are we dating?
Something like that, where it's like, I'm the guy who has to judge a book by its cover because I come up with the cover for books. But now I'm judging this chick by the cover because of what her job is.
Oh,
She's
that's
like,
actually a rom-com.
yeah, no, it actually is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's like, I judge books by their cover because it's my job, but it also translates into my life, where I judge this chick because she's like a hooker or something. I'm judging her by her cover. Zac Efron.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck sold 12 million copies.
Whoa.
Is that,
dude.
what? Is that, where's that
Books?
stack up?
I mean, it's not all time or anything, like fucking, but that 12 million is a fuckload.
It is a lot.
It's funny. It's because like books and shit, like records and stuff, albums don't sell like they used to, right? Like albums used to sell millions and millions and millions and millions.
But
But
they
I feel
they have to keep moving the thresholds for what platinum and shit is.
yeah, like bringing them down and down
Oh, fuck
and down
yeah.
and down.
Yeah. Have to.
Yeah. But like books, people don't really torrent books, do they?
Torrent a book.
Well, like, you know what I mean? Like illegally download a book, I guess with album sales and shit, and obviously Spotify's and all that. I was thinking about that today. I saw a relatively famous musician, Australian, walking down the street today, coming out of the house. And whilst I'm not expecting this person to be living in like a fucking mansion on Cribs, I was just a little bit more like, oh, yeah, I guess like the music industry would not necessarily pay that much outside of like touring and shit, like big concerts.
Well, I was led to believe, Tom, and I could be stood corrected.
You could stand corrected.
I could stand corrected.
You could be stood corrected. You could stand to be corrected.
Thank you. That's where they make their money now,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Unless you're fucking Drake and you're king of the stream.
Yes.
Everyone else is grinding out a living off the back of touring.
I'm pretty sure streaming is like just, it's almost like fucking, for an artist, you get like absolutely nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all. Very, very little.
Which is pretty insane to think about it. Like you've kind of just taken away all of this revenue from artists and shit. Like my old
but
man
it's more than
doesn't do, like he's not releasing anything, right? So he doesn't have even a good read on what streamings would be like for him as a bit, like for his albums and stuff, right? Because that's just gone. It's not a thing. But for people coming out now, like it's interesting. I'm like, how much, if you've got like if a song that you've done has had like a fucking million listens, how much would you get paid?
So on Spotify, they pay artists 0.003 to 0.005 cents per stream.
0.005.
Yeah, 0.003 cents per stream on average.
And why isn't it just why is there a fluctuation in that number? Like why isn't it just this is the
That's
number?
$3,000 per million streams.
That is fucking insane.
$3,000 to
dude.
$5,000.
If you had a million,
So who does? Let's say you did 30 million a year. Like,
dude, that is fucking disgraceful.
That's not much, is it?
Dude, it's nothing. Think about
let's see what the Killers. Argument's sake, what are the Killers
if you were
doing
doing
a
a
month?
million downloads a year in a podcast, we do more, you would be able to make a living off that.
20 million. So the Killers do about 20 million a month. That would be 60 grand a month. The Killers, mate.
That is fucked, dude. That's fucked.
In the US, the other day it came out that last year vinyl sales actually outperformed CD sales.
Not shocked by that. Who would
No.
be buying a CD?
So over 41 million vinyl records were sold, and only 33 million CDs were sold.
I can't believe CDs are still selling 33 million. But that number as well, 33 million, is tiny. I wonder what CDs were selling a year in the height of CDs.
Oh, it would be biblical.
It would be fucking ridiculous.
I saw Ed Sheeran the other. He's not this tour he's on now. The last tour he did over $1 billion in revenue.
What?
Yeah,
That's what, like...
that is fucking.
But if you're like...
psycho.
And you think about Harry Styles as well, because he was like he was the man of the moment in Australia for like a month, basically, when he was just out here. If you're the big dick city stuff, right? Like, and you think about what those numbers were with the Killers, 60 grand a month from fucking Spotify streams. Again,
Well,
insane.
I'll work out what Ed Sheeran does while you do that.
Or Harry, because we're talking Harry.
You want to do Harry?
Well, just because he was just out here. But, like, if you're coming out, like, you have to go and do, like, big fucking global tours if you're those guys. Like, you know what? I'm going to bury myself for, like, 12 months and just go to every single fucking part of the planet, sell out arenas.
Harry Styles makes 198,000 off Spotify
A month?
A month. That's not.
That's not right.
That's not good enough.
It doesn't feel right, does it?
No. Well,
It doesn't feel
I don't
right.
know what I feel about that, other than to say Harry Styles would be spending more than 198,000 a month.
Yeah, well, he'd be spending that on flared pants.
So the kid's got a tour. But if you are at if you're at stadium level, if you're if you're a Stadia artist,
Yeah. Oh, it's big Bicky business.
How many stadium level artists are there on the planet right now?
There's not shitloads.
20, 30?
No, there's probably more than that. But like, there's, I guess, global Stadia tour.
Global Stadia.
Global Stadia tour. There wouldn't be many Ed Sheerans, your Drakes, your Harry Styles. But then you'd have like maybe your U2, like older bands. You know,
U2's, Elton
Coldplay,
John's.
Elton John.
Maybe there's
probably more than
there's
20.
not that many.
No, there's not many. Especially as a percentage of the human population.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
But you wonder why, from a like the business model side of things, there's not another alternative.
I was under the impression as well, and I could be wrong here, that Spotify didn't really turn a profit. That may have changed, but there was certainly a point where I don't think
I heard they were in trouble. I heard they were like with the.
But then you read these numbers and you're like, you're not paying artists that much.
I guess how are they advertising just through?
Well,
like,
no, but subscription model.
yeah, it's true. I pay.
If you don't pay the $11 a month, it's a tough carry. Listen to that many ads.
It is. That's
a tough
I remember
carry.
when I first got Spotify, I didn't realize it was subscription. I was like, what the fuck is going on here with these ads playing? They're like, you pay. And I was like, I've been listening to ads for a long time. Yeah, okay, subscription. Dude, I honestly forgot I was subscribed to fucking Spotify. Like,
It's a sneaky one.
But I just don't understand how artists can get so fucked by that. Like, if you're doing 1 million fucking downloads, you are getting, let's say you're not doing 1 million downloads a month. Let's say you're a successful Australian artist in terms of not being international, but like you aren't able to do the global Stadia tours. You're a festival guy or girl or group. Tough, dude.
Real tough.
Like, being in the music industry used to be like,
It's not as glamorous as it once was, Tom.
it used
Let's
to be
honest.
glam.
You come up in that tape into fucking, well, even record into tape into CD. You get that CD, that early CD going.
Record tape CD days were the glory days.
Like
The glory
Eminem
days.
dominated CDs, dude. I'm pretty sure he's sold more CDs than anyone.
Really?
Like, yeah. Just swimming in cash. Swimming in it.
Yeah, still. Like, it's like impossible.
Still, no,
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able to spend it.
No.
Wouldn't be able to spend it because he dominated that CD era, baby. Dominated.
Yeah, those were the glory days.
Glory days. And your singles, you'd buy the singles, you'd buy the albums.
Album.
You had to have that shit.
Yeah.
You had to have that shit. Fucking oath. Sanity pumping. It's
Dude, the fact
dick
that you
off.
were able to also sell, like, I guess, like So Fresh was able to be a thing that people paid for. It's like, here's a mixtape we made.
Mate, there is one of the funniest episodes / saddest episodes of all time on Grand Designs about this guy who was like, had the royalties to like So Fresh albums and shit. He's wearing fucking these weird, like, shark tooth necklaces and shit. Real fuckwit.
Those things really didn't go out of
And he builds the biggest, most absurd house on the side of a cliff in some fucking shithole in England. Like, wrong area, wrong house, wrong design. Everything's wrong.
Where do you watch Grand Designs?
It's on ABC, but it comes in and out.
Does it got any streaming?
It's on Foxtel, unfortunately.
So that would be binge.
No, it's not binge.
Didn't we have a chat to
Foxtel's
Tim
separate.
Beam?
No, Foxtel's Grand Designs. I haven't seen it on binge.
Okay.
It's on Foxtel, but it's good watching if you just want to chill out and like numb yourself. And he builds this fucking monstrosity, bro, and it's just a disaster from start to finish. Like CD Styles fucking like slowed it, fall off a cliff, so all his money's gone, and so he's already started the build. So he builds another house because he wants to sell that house to borrow against the house he's building, and then no one wants to buy that house, and then he has to build this huge bridge just to get all the materials down. Otherwise, they can't get him onto the site and shit. Fucking disaster. Anyway, at the end of it, bro. His marriage falls apart. Marriage falls apart. His kids and shit who were like fucking 10 when it started are like 20 and moved out of the house. And it's him showing them that he's finished it, but then he has to sell it. And he's bankrupt. You're like, oh my God, bro.
Dude, that's what happens when you buy the rights to So Fresh.
That's what happened to the So Fresh guy.
So Fresh King.
King of So Fresh. Some UK guy. But So Fresh, I would get every fucking So Fresh, every change in season, baby. Summer, which are 2 discs, spring, winter.
There's also a
autumn.
Ministry of Sound one that uses it. Dad used to get sent CDs from his record
Mate, if you got the
company.
Ministry of Sound one, you were a cool kitten.
We used to get sent them all. So it'd always be like, he'd get a new thing of CDs, record company, like, oh, shock on the Ministry of Sound, man.
Ministry of Sound would be like fucking Timmy Trumpet and shit, wouldn't it?
Pre-Timmy.
No, it'd be like...
It's electronic music.
No, Muscles.
Yeah, but it was, again, even pre them. Like, it was, I'm talking early 2000s-y sort of shit. Maybe even late 90s. I don't know. But look, shout out to the CD. Do you find anything there, Tobler, on like the height of the CD, how many sales they were doing?
In 2000 was the peak. In the US alone, it sold 900 million.
Whoa, okay.
So that's halved in 20 years or so.
900? I think you just said it was 30 million.
900 million.
No, 900 million. But then now, they were just outsold by records and they did 30 million. Didn't you say that?
Let me double check.
They can't be selling 500 million CDs.
Yeah, sorry, 33 million now. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, who the fuck's buying CDs? On books as well, I reckon book sales are down because I reckon people go to the beach now on holidays and just fucking sit on their phone instead of reading a good old book.
Maybe, but they also listen to them, I think. Audiobooks. Dude, it's the same as listening to a podcast,
Do you
right?
reckon audiobooks are that big? No way.
I reckon they're bigger than you think, but I don't know. That's based on, shockingly, no data at all.
I'd be shocked if audiobooks were book.
Could you ask the internet for us whether book sales have declined, both audio and hard copy?
Well, audio would have gone up.
Yeah, but if it's just an across
Just
the board.
a total number.
A total.
We'll sit here. I'm going to say that their total sales have gone down.
Maybe a fraction, but I don't know. Because it's maybe easier to read books now, Kindles and shit. I don't have to go and buy the book. I can just have it like a Game Boy that's got all your games
I reckon
on
the
there.
phone's fucking us up. That's my guess.
Steph sits up at night and reads a Kindle, and I sit there with the fucking phone.
Toddler got me a
head off.
Kindle for my birthday that I'm setting up.
Yeah, you been using it, have you?
I'm setting it up.
Oh, you're in the process of setting
Well,
it up.
it takes a while to set up.
Yeah.
It's at home.
Did he know that you wanted one, or is that just like a thoughtful gift?
No, it's a beautiful, sweet gift from a beautiful, sweet guy who knows that I'm taking up reading.
Oh, really?
Not that I don't read, but I need to read more.
Yeah, and the Kindle.
Because I like reading.
Yeah.
But I can fall into habits of like not reading. But then I'm like, fuck.
Same.
And then when I get to summer holidays, I'm like, fuck, I actually like reading.
I haven't read a book for ages, but I do enjoy it when I like it. But again, I listened to an audiobook last year, I think.
Have you ever read? Do you ever read? I don't think I've ever seen you read a book.
No, I used to enjoy, like I've enjoyed it in the past. It just doesn't get me hard.
Frontlist sales dropped 10.5%.
In 2022, while backlist sales fell.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
That doesn't make any sense to me, what frontlist and backlist is. Fuck it, who cares?
Down 10%.
I'll say 10%, that's all right. Globally, audiobook revenue projected to be worth over $5.38 billion as of 2022. Revenue from audiobooks expected to grow
26.4% every year. So
pretty big.
audiobooks the go.
Yeah. It is good, especially when it's like dense material that you...
But do you focus?
Yeah, you focus and you also skip back. It's exactly the same as listening to a podcast conversation where you're like, again, I'm assuming that there aren't many people who skip back hours and go, wait, what was that pearl of wisdom they were just talking about?
Oh,
But
people
like-
skip back, Tom.
But, you know, when there's one where you're hearing someone interesting being spoken to or interviewed and you maybe fucking you're doing something, you just go, oh, wait, what was that? I'll quickly go back and listen to that. I checked out, or I was having a conversation, or I, you know, whatever.
Yep.
Audiobook, you do that. Rather than having to go back and go, I've been reading this thing for the last 3 pages and I don't know what the fuck was said.
Yeah. It's like, have you ever, you probably haven't, A Brief History of the Universe by Stephen Hawking?
No.
Fucking hard going.
Yeah. I started trying to read
I had to read
it.
each chapter like 3 times. It was fucking
I was reading
brutal.
a bunch of Dawkins books back in the day and then like Sapiens and shit and like...
Great book.
Great book,
Well
dude.
written.
But like...
Very well written.
It is...
It's not that dense, dude. Try reading the
Sapiens?
fucking Brief History of the Universe will fuck
I'm
you
not
up.
trying to out fucking intelligence you, dude.
No, I'm not
Sapiens,
saying that.
you're dealing with like very complex fucking different types of sapien and homo cis and homo that and this
it's-
period. No, like,
It's
just-
written well though, as
It's written
compared
very
to
well.
Stephen Hawking, who he tried to write really simply for people, and I was like, if this is your simple version, bro, like what the fuck
Shout
is your
out to
top
Simi
end?
P, who does the greatest single impression of Stephen Hawking, the late
It's-
Stephen Hawking. I've
I
ever
would
seen.
say this. I would comfortably say this. It's the greatest impersonation of the late great Stephen Hawking on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Fact. Punters and dribblers, we were told by someone, and I wrote it down in my phone, that English
was
from
Josh,
100...
it was
Josh,
Josh.
definitely?
Yeah.
English from 100 years ago, if you were to hear English from 100 years ago in an English-speaking nation like England, you wouldn't be able to understand what the fuck they were saying. That's what he was saying to us. And we wanted to get up some audio, if possible, to see if that's true.
But that's similar to what I'm talking about with these gods being fucking the names of the week, where it's like language evolves.
That's Nordic shit, dude. That's not the same.
But what I mean is that the language changes so quickly over time, where Wednesday used to be Wadney or whatever the fuck it was, and then slowly it just evolves to then being like a different version. So like in the way that shorthand makes words change, or the way that emojis replace words, almost like fucking hieroglyphs, like it just happens so quickly that before you know it, it's so far away from what it was that if you aren't there, like for that period of time, you're like, what the fuck? Even when you hear people talk in the 50s, obviously you understand what they're saying, but it's still very different. Ah, swell, you know, it's my best gal. It's like,
Have you ever heard some people speak from like the 50s, like you say on ABC News, or they do interviews and shit? Everyone sounds the same.
yeah, well, that's because they're old. They're all a bit, hey, guys.
No. Like
about
even guys like in the street and shit, they interview them. They all sound the fucking same.
Oh, those ones where it's like throwback, like it's video footage from those times.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, people say we sound the same.
We don't though.
Nah, not at all.
Not at all.
Not even a little bit.
No. If you think that,
You don't get it.
the amount of people that think I'm you,
Who's
Tom,
Jack's desktop?
the amount of people that think you're me and I'm you
Yeah, I know.
is absurd.
No one knows who we are.
No.
Like, no one knows the difference.
No idea.
No. Why? Who's Jack and why is his desktop
I
connected?
think because I'm logged into the We Mean Well YouTube
Gotcha.
as Jack Archdale. I found
So
a
we
video.
don't. There's not a spy in our midst, or
Not that I'm aware of. How far back in time could you go and still understand English?
Yeah.
So I think,
Is it a video?
yeah.
If you had a time machine, how far back could you go and still understand English?
fun.
In the 19th and 18th centuries, you'd probably still be okay.
Probably.
This is from the book Robinson Crusoe in 1719.
I, poor miserable Robinson Crusoe, came on shore on this dismal, unfortunate island, which I called the Island of Despair.
I understand everything.
Got it. That's fine.
fairly easy to understand, but you might struggle with slang like baddifang and kickarapoo.
Sure.
And now, your birthday suit actually is a suit that you wear on your birthday. The 1600s is the time of Shakespeare.
This is a.
Natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life, usurp immediately.
Harder to follow, but not everyone speaks like that. You would hear plenty of words you didn't understand, though.
Thornback, Barbermonger,
The bigger
Bleater,
problem
Rabble.
now is the
Don't get any of this
pronunciation.
shit.
The sound of the vowels has changed, and the accent is becoming much harder
The
to
great
understand.
vowel shift of
For
1350.
example, tea is pronounced tay, and gone is pronounced gone.
Why? Why did it change?
In the 1500s,
Why did it
people
change?
essentially speak like the Bible.
Now therefore, thus saith the Lord, Thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die.
There
That's-
are also
sounds
hundreds
pretty
of
easy.
words that didn't mean a thing to you.
This isn't the best video I've
No,
ever
it's
seen
not.
in my life.
Before about 1400,
How long does this go
you'd hear
for?
Middle English, and you would hardly understand anything, written or spoken.
Juan dat April with his sure sorter, the drocht of March had perset to the rotor, and barred every lane and switchly cool
Yep.
This is where we stop.
I'm not getting
understanding.
anything.
Nah, 13s.
If you went all the way back to 1000 AD, you'd hear Old English.
Fader ure, thuthe ton heavenum,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Become's still fucking getting into its work back there. Good to see Become's, a couple of words that have just been able to.
That you need 1.21
keep skipping forward in
gigawatts
time.
to get home.
Oh, that was
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Okay. That was a
Semi-illuminating.
That was semi-illuminating, a pretty dog shit video. Let's be honest with ourselves,
Yeah.
punters and dribblers. But I am illuminated.
Yeah.
So basically, language is fluid, Tom, and
Much
it's-
like gender.
yes, and it's on the change. It's on the move.
Mm.
It's on the adapt.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. See, I guess 13s to me, based on that awful video, is where I think we start to lose touch with the language, like where I have fuck all idea. The only word I saw there that I did know was become. And I was just pleased to see that some words just fucking, for whatever reason, have just gone, no, like, no matter what, I'm still here. I'm not fucking leaving. Like, you think about, like, the crocodile, dinosaur
Yeah.
that's managed to get through.
Will become, although spelt differently, still getting into its work, which I like.
Only
to see.
slightly differently as well.
I wouldn't have picked become to be an old stayer.
No, I wouldn't have either. But you never know with these things, right? You just never know.
No, you don't know, Tom.
You just never know.
Interesting that there are words that we say that are way older than others.
Yes. Like we were talking about the ones that have like, this is not a word, it's a saying, but mea culpa, which is Latin. We didn't know that. But, I mean, you probably assume we did know that.
We probably could have guesstimated. We didn't know for sure.
We assumed it was Latin, but it was something that is said frequently enough to the point where you don't, like it's kind of just an English saying even though it's Latin. For those of you that don't know, it's basically just like acknowledging fault.
Correct. We looked it up.
Yeah, we did.
Just trying to improve ourselves every single day.
That's all what we're about.
And that's all that we're about. And that probably wraps that segment up.
I think so. I don't think you can juice that anymore.
Well, I don't want to.
John Morant, he's been suspended for like indefinitely?
Yeah, indefinitely.
For a bunch of shit. But like one of the things was he had like a fucking gun in an Instagram live. Apparently he dropped 50 G's at a fucking
I
strip
saw that.
club.
There was cash everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Why didn't someone pick that up?
I think it's a strip club. I think it's uncouth to pick up strippers' cash.
No, but I'm sure, don't the strippers pick it up?
Yeah, I think that they pick it up maybe after he's fucked off. Like it's not an ideal look for you. Have you scooping up dollar bills while you're sitting there getting a lappy.
That's a great point.
It's funny though, the strip club mentality, like when there's like these fucking, I mean, just generally, I'm not a huge strip club guy myself. No disrespect if you are.
Have you ever thrown cash?
No. That's what I mean. I mean, our tender isn't built for strip clubs.
No, it's not. We don't have a dollar note.
We don't have a dollar note, right? You can't be pegging $1 coins at
they
strippers,
hurt.
right? It'd fucking take an eye out or
Yeah,
like
you kill
leave
someone.
bruises and
Kill
shit.
someone.
Whereas in America with the dollar bills, they're just like fucking, they just pegging cash. Listen, I don't like that it seems that like every fucking strip, like when I used to go to strip clubs ever was back when the cross was a thing. And that might be, a particular night you might just end up there and you're like, well. But like I found across the board that like most of the floors in strip clubs are all very sticky. Like your feet stick to the floor.
That'd be an alcohol thing, I think.
I don't care. It's a fucking visceral experience. You're just like, along with everything else, like the fact the the paid interest is something I can't get past.
I think more for me, if I can speak candidly, is pay to enter, pay to see, basically.
Yeah.
Then you got to pay for like extras that don't amount to anything.
No, you're walking out of there with nothing.
With nothing.
Yeah. And I'm certainly not paying for anything else.
No. Well, I don't think you can pay for that stuff there.
Even if you could, I wouldn't, is what I'm saying.
No, I understand that. But I'm saying if you are going there,
Look
hoping
at
for
how
that,
much
you're in the
cash
wrong
there
place.
is in that fucking room, dude.
It's
Look
outrageous. It's
at how-
absolutely outrageous.
But look at him just sitting there, there's an element of ridiculousness to it.
That photo, go up, Tobler. That photo is absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Have a go at his face.
There's like finger food and shit all on the
Are
table.
they party
It
pies?
looks like
bro?
party pies and frankfurts and shit.
Are they party pies and frankfurts on the table? That is so fucking dribbly.
I do feel bad for him in the sense that
He's got jeans on.
well,
and his shirt off.
yeah, well, he's not fucking them.
I know he's not. I'm just saying the dress.
But why
He doesn't look like he's dressed for spraying $50,000 worth of dollar bills. Like he doesn't look comfortable to me.
Wait, jeans not comfortable.
No.
You'd need to be in like loose trackies.
To get rid of that much coin? Fucking up.
How's the photo get leaked?
Well, it's obviously from the CCTV.
Yeah, but that's kind of like if I'm Ja Morant and I'm going to a strip club and throwing fucking cash all over the joint, surely you'd be like, hey, you're not gonna leak photos of me doing this, right? Like this is all fucking above board.
Yeah, listen. Based on the cuisine they've served up, I don't think they give a fuck.
No. Based on the face he's making, I don't think he does either.
That's a face. Look, that face looks like it wants to get buried somewhere.
Yeah, it does. He's looking to bury his face.
Don't you think
Yeah.
it looks like he wants to bury that
But
face?
apparently he's been suspended indefinitely, and there's a certain amount of games.
Are you not allowed to go to the strippers?
No, I think it's just generally his behaviour of late has been a bit fucking how you going. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think the night that this happened, they had like a team meeting and were like, all right, everyone in before curfew at like 9 or 10 o'clock. And then he went out on a rip. And this was 48 hours before the gun on the Instagram live
yeah,
stream.
he's a bit of a fucking wild bit of gear, Ja Morant. And apparently as well, like holding up guns, being all like gangster and shit, and again, I'm going off other information, but that he like, in like 8 Mile, and he's like, and Clarence's parents had a real good marriage and went to private. Like apparently he grew up in like a very normal neighborhood, but he's like fucking flashing guns and shit. Like
Right.
So he's been suspended for a period of time, I believe, and if he doesn't play a certain amount of games in a season, his bonus is forfeited, and it's like $40 million or $39 million. So
That's his bonus.
yeah, something crazy like that. So they're saying like this $50,000 strip club night
Could fuck him.
could end up becoming a $40 million strip club night.
Wow.
It says he's out for an indefinite amount of time at the moment.
Oh, fuck. Hope he got his fill on party pies if that's
Well,
the case.
yeah,
But
well-
I'm seeing a lot of full plates there. Doesn't
Yeah,
look
I
like he
know.
was eating much.
I mean, who knows though? Knowing this guy, which I don't at all, but this could be 20 minutes into the whole fucking escapade. It seems like it's pretty fucking outrageous.
yeah.
Prop me up.
Prop me up.
And see, they blur out the stripper's face. Like,
Well, they haven't blurred her face out. They've just blurred out the top of her head. Hasn't she got her head all the way down?
well, she does, but I'm thinking maybe that hair's draping down his. I mean, I don't know what you'd be seeing. Maybe she's looking forward.
No, I don't
She
think
could be looking forward.
That hair's gone all the way over.
But you can see the line, like the part in the top of the head. So she could be looking forward because that's pointing up.
Interesting.
Isn't it interesting?
Fascinating. One hell of a photo. They go to the YouTube if you want to have a gander. Ja Morant looking like he wants to bury.
Who's he play for?
Oh, Memphis
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
Cool. You just don't get NRL stories like this.
No, you don't.
Like, obviously NRL players go to the Rippers, but there's no one fucking...
Not like this.
Not like this. I wish there was.
That's decadence that you don't see in Australian sport.
that's
no one's
that's
going to the
NBA.
Rippers and dropping 50K. There's just no way.
No.
There's absolutely no way.
Or they might be, but they don't have the legal tender to produce an image such as this.
Just imagine it was just 5-cent coins all over the ground.
Everywhere.
It wouldn't have the same
luster, the same panache.
Wouldn't have the same panache. Shout out to Ja Morant.
Yeah, shout out to you, brah. Rugby League tonight, Edward. Rugby League tonight.
When we're talking rugby league, who do we do it for?
We're doing it for KO. When we're watching Rugby League, we're doing it with KO. And tonight we are doing the live stream, as we said earlier, Willie, Mason, Scope. And we'll be watching on KO.
What a great foursome. Willie, and Scope.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Fucking unbelievable.
Now, this game between Manly and the Eels is for the Scope Cup. He played for both clubs. Willie did play for Manly. But the Scope Cup is what it's all about. There is a trophy that is awarded to the winner. Listen, if we just go through this side, you just can tell straight away that we are by far and away the better side. Tommy Turbo, Clint Gustin. No disrespect to Clint, but like he couldn't hold a Trebojevic fart in his mouth. You know what I mean?
Well, he couldn't hold a Trebojevic fart in his mouth, Tom. That's absolutely right. And for that reason, he gets bested here in the battle of the full-backs.
Yep.
Christian Tuipulotu versus Marcus Sivo. Marcus Sivo is a good player.
Yeah, he is.
I'll give you that.
He's a good player.
But is he on the up?
No. He's not on the up.
He's
already had his up.
He's had his up. He's on the He's on the down.
He's either on the down or he's on the flat.
He's either flat or down. I'll let the punter and the dribbler make up their mind there, but he's certainly not on the up.
What about Bradley Parker playing his 100th game for the greatest club of all time?
Well, you just answered the fucking query, didn't you?
Up
Brad Parker
Will
playing his 100th game, humps Will Penasini into the earth. I'm sorry, Will. You and I have got on occasionally. You let me down last week in about even, but I have been on you in the past to great effect. But Brad Parker's 100th game is Brad Parker's 100th game. He's also a local junior. Did you know that, Will?
Did you know that?
Will, did you know that?
Will, were you aware of that?
Will, are you aware of that?
Look at us when we're talking to you, Will.
Will, I want eye contact, champ. Did you know that? Because now you do. And also, did you know that Brad Parker's Strong as an Ant has aged like a fine wine?
Yeah, he has.
He's so chiseled and hot now, dude.
Yeah, he looks good. Now, Stubby Cooler can of Cola against Wanga Blake. It's not really up for debate here.
It's not fair.
No, it's not. Wanga Blake's a great player. He's been around for a while now. Bit of Penrith time, bit of Para time. I think he's represented Fiji. But
that's great.
That's great, dude. That's awesome. That's far more than you and I have ever done.
Way more. But are you a Stubby Cooler can of Cola?
I don't think so.
That's what I'd like to know.
A 19-year-old throbbing prodigy.
Who could be anything.
Who could be absolutely anything. I'd love to see Guru go down on him.
And Will.
Yeah, I think he probably would.
I'll watch.
But,
I'll be the cuck in that environment.
Yeah,
no problem at all. Now, Ruben Garrick, the 13th peak, 14th peak, 15th peak against Bailey Simonson. No offense, Bailey, but have you got the point scoring record?
No, he doesn't. And again, that is no offense to Bailey. We scroll down a bit more. Joshy Schuster back, the shoe. I was seeing on random stats that Manly averages 34 points a game when the last 4 times Shuey started at 6.
Averaged 34 points.
Yep.
Wow.
Daly Cherry Evans probably won't have that hair again because he shaved it off and it's revealed a real fucking.
Well, I think Cherry Evans has shaved that hair off because that hair no longer exists.
Yeah.
And he's just been the master of his own destiny and the master of his own domain.
Yeah.
And I respect the fuck out of that.
Same.
Because that's a real man right there.
Yeah.
A man that puts his hand up and goes, you know what? Father Time's got the better on me from a hair perspective, but not playing perspective, maybe.
So you look at Daly Cherry Evans, obviously he's won premierships, he's won Origin Shields, he's won World Cups, he's played for his country. He is a better halfback than Mitchell Moses of business time haircut, not a business time player so far this season. Taniela Paseka is better than Regan Campbell-Gillard.
Mount Paseka. Is Regan Campbell-Gillard a mountain?
No, he's not.
So, inso facto, not as good.
Now, I don't know if it's inso or ipso facto.
It's inso.
Are you sure?
No.
I'm not either, though, just for the record.
Ipso.
Ipso. I think it's Latin as well, buddy.
You and I with our
Yeah,
Latin.
it's ipso.
And what does it mean?
It means by that very fact or act.
Yep. So it was great usage, poor execution.
Yeah. Great usage, poor pronunciation. But You are right that Regan Campbell-Gillard, not a mountain, ipso facto, not as good a player.
Correct. Now, Lachlan Croker is the best 9 in the game.
Yep.
We all know that to be true. So, ipso facto, Josh Hodgson can't be as good because Lachlan Croker is the best.
Yes.
Makes sense?
Ipso facto.
Jake Trbojevic. Junior Bolo. Junior's good.
Junior's good.
Junior's huge.
He's huge.
Junior's strong as an ox.
Yeah.
Junior's fucking terrifying.
Who comes in a run at straight challenge? Junior running, Jake tackling. Who comes off?
Yeah, I'll ask you this. Who has more ticks in the snap column in the NRL than Jake Trbojevic? Anyone?
No.
No. So you know what happens when Junior runs at Jake? Junior gets snapped in half.
Ipso facto,
Jake better than Junior. Now, Bryce Cartwright v. Hamole Olakawatu. Now, one of these players is the best back rower in the comp. The other is not.
Ipso facto.
Ipso facto. Hamole better than Bryce.
Now, next up we've got Kelma Tuolangi and Matt Dory. Now, one of these players
I've heard of.
And the other one, I haven't. Ipso facto.
Kelma Tuolangi, way better than who the fuck are you, Matt Dory? No offense. No offense.
No offense.
You just don't have a photo.
No. Now, the locks.
Josh Alloway. Josh Alloway?
Josh Alloway.
Now, I saw Josh at the fucking Biffs on Sunday carrying 4 waters. Okay? What a great sign that is. What a great sign that is. Now, I know that Guru has been busy swallowing Jermaine loads, but listen here, bruh. He's played 2 good games, and I think you're getting a little bit carried away.
Bit suck happy.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give it a season, bro.
Yeah.
Now, it may turn out that Jermaine is the Cotter of 2023, but 2 games doesn't
maketh the man.
It doesn't maketh the Cotter of 2023.
No.
Ipso facto, Josh Alloway of 4 waters at the Biffs, prime for a big fucking performance.
Josh,
here.
4 waters at the Biffs, Alloway. Is that an omen? We have to omen hunt.
We will. You and I will.
We will. We'll do that later.
KO Weeks. Now, good judges are saying, I'm going to parrot something that I heard off Matty the Waterboy. Now, he might have said it on the fucking podcast with his MP. I can't remember. He said that when he worked at New South Wales Rugby League, that Freddie Fittler eyeballed KO Weeks, who would always play up in age. Like, with the under 18s, he was like 16. Under 16s, he's like 14. He's like, that kid will be a fucking prodigy. He'll be anything.
Okay.
And KO Weeks proving already that he will be the most prodigious. Well, he's the most prodigious talent in the comp. There, I said it. So he's 14 against Gira Momosia.
Ipso facto.
Prodigy versus non-prodigy.
Benny Trbojevic, the third. Trbojevic.
Yep. Of Tomato Farm and Stock.
Yep. Comes up against Jack Murchie of a name I've heard, but a guy I don't know.
Yeah, listen. I know who Ben Trbojevic is. I just know Jack Murchie's name. Not the same thing.
No, it's not. It's very different. So obviously Ben better. Ethan the Bull Bullymore up against Wiramu Greg. Now I'll say this. Wiramu is a name I like because I believe it's like the Maori way to say Will or William.
Wiramu is a sick name.
Yeah. My brother, who is also called Will, calls himself Uncle Wiramu. So
unfortunately for Wiramu.
It's tough. I do have a soft spot for that.
But unfortunately for Wiramu, Tom, we're not here judging names. We're here judging footballers.
Yeah.
And Ethan the Bull Bullymore, proud Queensland stock.
Greater than symbol, Wiramu Greg.
Like, shake Ethan's hand, look him in the eyes and tell me he's not a better footballer than Wiramu Greg.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
We round things out with Sean Kepi and Makahesi Makatoa. Now, Sean Kepi does great work in the community.
Yes, he does.
Great work on the football field.
He's also one of the great nut truckers the world's ever produced. And every side needs a nut trucker, and every interchange needs a nut trucker of consequence.
He'll come in and do a job.
He'll do a job. He's a job doer.
Yeah.
Now, Makatoa may well do a job, but he's not going to do it to the standard that Kepi does. And for that reason, ipso facto, Makatoa, less than Sean Kepi. We cover them in all 17 positions. A win is guaranteed. The line's 2.5 points, which is a fucking sick joke.
Well, listen, if you want to talk about deep-throating things, a la Guru and Yaman Hopgood, you deep-throat 2.5.
Tom and I will be literally down to the balls on 2.5.
Seriously.
Seriously, though.
Yeah.
There's no gag reflex for 2.5.
No, dude. If you can't swallow 2.5...
Then go home.
Well, yeah, go home. You can't hang with us.
So you can't sit with the cool kids.
Nah. Sorry, dude. You can't sit with us if you can't deep throat 2.5 all the way down to the balls.
That's just a fact.
No, that's a fact, dude.
That's a fact of life.
Sorry.
So come join us.
We saying something that's fucking unnerving you?
Yep. Come join us tonight in the live stream, 7:45, Hello Sport YouTube, Scope and Mace, me and Tommy. We'll be deep throating fucking 2.5 down to the balls, baby.
Down to the balls. That's about it from us, is it, Eddie?
No, I want to talk quickly, Tom.
Okay.
About listen, it was on NRL 360, but I thought that you and I needed to just give it a moment. Now, the chairman of the Tigers,
Lee Hadjipatelis, coming out as the only person prepared to speak from the club. A club in turmoil, I think. Now, you might be like, you're going off a little early, but am I? Because it's feeling turmoily to me. Yeah. I mean, every year for the last couple of years with the Tigers has felt kind of tumultuously turmoily.
But if you come out and say that the only reason we lost against the Knights, who were so down on troops, had one fucking person on the interchange bench, Ponga not out there. So Saifidi went off. Frizzell went off as well.
His foot was basically like spun around.
And you still can't get the dub. And he comes out and says the only reason we lost is if we
attacked better.
We'd win.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is that what it's become?
And even the way that they were talking about like Tim Sheen's the Sheenius, the cleanest, meanest Sheenius, running down onto the
sideline, dude, like it was a grand final.
Desperately trying to get messages out there to his gang of players.
The analyst, Cooper Cronk, spearheading this sort of narrative, were stunned. They're like, all you do is truck seed up the middle.
At least try and employ that tactic. If it doesn't work, at least you're having a crack with the correct tactic. As opposed to they like every time they've spoken about that game, like the only person they're saying is having a crack in that side is Api Coruscant.
Would you be unnerved? Let's say that you and I were playing for the Tigers, 11 and 12 respectively.
Yeah.
And we see Sheenius running down from the box, rattled, screaming.
Yep.
Trying to get that dub. How would you interpret that?
I'd be like, fucking Pop's lost. Potentially.
Yeah.
You know?
Does that say it all?
Pop's locked himself out of the fucking house again.
Pop hasn't taken his pills.
Yeah, Pop's walked taking a wrong turn and he's found himself outside of the house. Potentially. What I was thinking in regards to the Tigers, in regards to Appy, in regards to the situation generally as it pertains to the Tigers. Last year in Origin, and I'm not about to start naming my Origin side, but last year in Origin...
But you could.
But I could. I want to talk about who I'd started hooker. Last year, Appy looked like he was taking over from Cook.
Yep.
Appy now at the Tigers, who suck.
Yep.
Cook in the Rabbitohs side that's better.
Well, better?
But obviously better, right? Like they're going
better.
It's been 2 rounds. So I don't. You can't. But like, obviously they're better.
They're better.
He's in a way better side.
I think you can say that.
No, I am saying that. Then you've got Reece Robson up in North Queensland who are better.
Doing a job.
Does Appy lose Origin spots because he's in a shit side? Freddie did that to Adokar. Does Freddie learn now not to do that?
I think.
Do you still pick Appy? Do you pick Cook? Do you pick Robson? Like, is it up in the air?
I think that Queensland have proven that just if you've done a job before, we'll get you in. You can do a job again, right? Like Adokar wasn't selected, then he fucking ripped up the World Cup.
But we lost with both hookers, so like it's sort of it's not like you're going, oh well. Like you'd probably say if you were just going to pick one on that train of thought, then you'd go, well, it's just going to be Cook, and we'll fuck off Appy.
I think that we lost last year for one reason.
Well, I know
2 selections.
A couple of selections and injuries.
But 2 selections in that first game is why we lost the series.
Yep.
That's just a fact of life. Origins, generally speaking, are tightly contested, Tom. And, you know, it could be a play here, play there that decides them, right? So 2 selections mean all the fucking difference. But I think it would be unfair on Coruscant to exclude him because he plays for a shit club.
Yeah, but, like, I get, like, Adokar was playing for the Bulldogs, whereas, like, playing for the Tigers, I think it probably is fair to do it. Where you go, listen, dude, you guys are awful. It's not your fault. You're the only person having a crack, but you suck.
It would be tough for him having come from Penrith so well drilled. Like, then he gets to the fucking ruck and goes to, you know, pass seed and, like, no one's there.
Well, he goes for a run and there's just no one with him.
No one with him. You'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
What is happening here? And I just, all the fucking piss and vinegar about how well they were fucking training pre-season, attacking footy, you're just like, oh my God, dude, you guys are so shit. I do genuinely feel sorry for Tigers fans. One guy DM'd us going, bruh, it's so bad. He was like...
Of course, I 100% feel sorry.
No, but he was
Tigers
like,
fans.
he was basically saying, I'm sorry I can't remember your name. He was like, honestly, you got, because you know how we were saying, like, fucking fuck him off to bush footy. He was like, honestly, a lot of Tigers fans wish that could happen so they could start supporting another side. But because they aren't turncoat pieces of shit, you can't do that until you are
Mate,
forced
Tigers fans are fucking loyal. I'll give them that. Like, they've put up with some bullshit.
Yeah. Like, would you prefer to be an Eels fan who hasn't won a comp in 40 years or a Tigers fan now? I think I'd probably still prefer to be a Tigers fan.
Like, the Tigers are so shit, right? And in no way is this tied to the election jumpers we released, but like there was a lot of election jumpers sold.
Yes.
That happened to have West 13 plus on them. I don't know if they're
No,
linked.
well, there's just an electorate thing. Yeah.
They're not linked, those two things.
No, but you're right. There was a lot there who were just supporting, irrespective of the fact that their team is fucking putrid.
Putrid. I respect that. I respect their fans. I think that some stuff you do, like halftime standing O's in trial games, is probably a little cringy. But I do respect your loyalty. Know that.
I'm done.
Same, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's go for a hit.
Fucking oath.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?